Alright guys, we got this Moto Stars video. Let's take a look and see what happens. We're going to go over some crashes and close calls. The main thing here is that we're going to be utilizing the plan method. So position for safety, locate hazardous situations, assess and navigate active threats. We're going to go over that. So hopefully we can find some scenarios in here that we can utilize that, and I'll explain it some more. And then we might even go over some rescue. So I'm excited about that. So let's take a look at this.
Hey everyone, today
Hey everyone,
video
Moto Stars.
I hope that these situations will be a good lesson.
It's got some new updates. I like it.
So,
I like it.
And try it safe.
Okay. Oh, a little bit of a little low side crash. Now, why? Ooh, we got some injuries right there. So let's take a look. All right, so he's gonna pick up the bike. That's really cool. But we're gonna go over this, okay? It's a blind corner. We're going through a corner. Not a big deal. Okay. When it comes to planning our ride, we're locating hazardous situations. So right here, we can't see anything around. There's line of sight issue when it comes around this corner. We don't know what's around this corner. Can't really see what the gravel or road surface hazards could be around the corner, but let's see. So we come up to here. So we don't really see too much when it comes to what could be on the road. It doesn't look like there's any oil or whatever. His hands doesn't look like he was gripping the front brake. Okay, see that right there? And typically you'll respond by grabbing. But he did drop the bike, okay? He did fall down on the left side when we talk about mechanism of injury. So we're talking left side, so left knee hit impact, left ankle, left shoulder, left arm, all that stuff. More than likely, that's going to be where the injuries are. So he drops the bike, regular shoes, and right there we have an injury, okay? So it's a quick injury. We don't know the extent of it, but that's where the injury happens. Why did he crash? Could be gravel, more than likely gravel. All right, so we're riding through the twisties, having fun. Chevrons indicate that it is sharp turns. Oh, we're all over the place. It's kind of fun though. You know, great looking road. I don't know if it's cross traffic, and there's the dump of the bike. Now, what happened there? So something really messed up the handling of that bike. Now, unsure if he grabbed the front brake, because that's what it kind of looks like. It does look like he grabbed that front brake, because there's no way for that tire to lose traction instantly like that outside of gravel. But we saw our buddy kind of go through it. It's not a big deal. So I'm a thinking front brake hits the ground. Not good. So at this point, look at his shoulder's all ripped up, not wearing full gear. He's walking wounded. That's pretty good. Is this another angle? Oh, somebody came up to him. Okay. A little bit target fixated on that. Not wearing full gear. Okay. So there it is. Up and over. Nice little picture. So my best guess, since he crashed too, that maybe it's this turn. So sometimes it's the actual turn of the road. The road, I mean, look at that. See how it's kind of right there? A little bit of a dip. You can see it with the guardrail. It's like a little, I did it backwards. It's like a dip. That means the road, there's a dip. It could be that. It could be that. Because, like, yeah, right here is where the dude crashed, right? Let's go back. Right here. I think he might have lost a little traction. You see, like, right where the dip is. So here's... Come on. Let's get a good frame. All right, so you see the dip right there? So we're talking right here is where the bike got all jostled. Right here. So I think the road got him. So like right here. Yeah. Because it got the other guy. Now let's take a look. We're diagnosing it. Let's take a look at the guy in the front when he goes over it, see if his line gets messed up. Oh, look at his rear tire. Look at the guy in the front's rear tire. I'm going to go back just a little bit. Look at the guy's front on his rear tire. You see how I got a little squirrely right there? Got a little squirrely? I want you to see the right there. See, you got a little squirrely? So now we're about to hit that same spot right here. He got squirrely too. Okay, so it was probably, yeah, a little bowl in the road. Guys, how are you going to find that? How are you going to find that when you're riding? You're going to find it by going over it, right? Now, wouldn't it be easier to go over it if we weren't going super fast? Be able to do it like the normal speed? So when we're talking about going the right speed, the appropriate speed, a lot of times it means just don't speed. Don't go too fast. Like, we're going pretty fast. Yeah. And you're not going to be able to see it until you go over it. Right here, he's going to do it too. Right here. You probably messed up. Yeah. Ugh. Definitely not Rachel. Let's take a look at what definitely not Rachel did. Or did not do. All right, so we got a vehicle coming into her. Ooh, pushed her a little bit. Pay attention up front. Pay attention up front. You're still traveling. Yeah, they got close to you. They got close to you. But once this happens, they touched, huh? Ooh. Touch the hand grips. That got real close. But once you get to this point, yeah, it's one thing to look back, but it's like, I really got to start paying attention to what's in front because I'm still traveling. You got to watch out for that too. So go ahead and accelerate out of there. Get yourself away from them. Create a space cushion. Move on. That person shouldn't have done that. She jumped 2 to 3 lanes. Oh, but she changed lane. Let's take a look. You guys are paying attention quite a bit. All right, let's take a look. All right, so she's shifting. Okay, so she switched lanes. 2 lanes. 3 lanes. She's in the lane, though. I mean, yeah, she switched 3 lanes, but she was in the lane, and then he switched into her. He had view of her. He was in the blind spot. The orange vehicle was in the blind spot, and they switched into her. But yeah, she did switch a couple lanes to cut over. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is like, who's in the wrong? Doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, it's like, how do we protect ourselves? Just stay away from other vehicles the best you can. Pay attention to what's up front. And another thing, to go back to the switching of the lanes, if we can be predictive on the motorcycle and in our car, which means that we're not switching 3 lanes at a time. We're switching 1 lane with the indicator, looking, turning off the indicator, switching another lane with the indicator, switching. Like, you're constantly doing that. You're giving people an idea and being predictive of what you're trying to do. All right, here we go. We're going to be lanes. Oh, road surface hazard. Okay. So he's talking. He's telling everybody. So imagine having to go over that. Like, you're in the back of this lane, now you're having to go over these bumps. That's the scary part. So it's always better to try to swerve around them than go over them. You could go over that, but it's going to mess you up at these high speeds. Being able to swerve out of that is much better. But they are talking to each other. I recommend you guys getting a Cardo Pack Talk Edge. Get a duo. Go halvesies with a buddy. Link in the description for 10% off. This way you can tell people behind you, hey, sticks in the road, switch lanes, whatever it is that you want to say, so you can tell people to get away from that, because they might not see it.
Caralho, viado!
Oh, geez, here we go. We're not wearing gear. All right. Why are we all like bouncy? Is that just the camera? Trying to press 3 girls in the car by cutting us off? Oh, okay. Oh, we know those types of people. You know those types of people trying to impress the girls in the car. He's going to speed and act like an idiot. Well, guys, let's not speed and act like idiots ourselves. Let's not do that. So one thing that he is doing right is that he's using a Cardo Pack Talk Edge to talk to his buddies about how dumb we all are going to be. So grab yourself a Cardo. It's not a big deal. But you guys can talk to each other. Wear a gear, though. Go ahead and grab some gear. How embarrassing is it for the guy now with the girls? All right. Nobody really cares about this stuff. Nobody cares. Oh, we're out on a track. 5 hours on track did not help. Got really exhausted on track on a really sunny day. Hey, this right here, I wanted to point out real quick before you even see what happens. Go ahead and write in the comments what you think will happen. I think it might be a low side. Simonitis. So right here, 5 hours on a track, sunny day, exhausted. Your body will move slower. You're starting to dehydrate, so your muscles will contract and extend a little bit slower because of the electrolyte imbalance. Your nervous system needs to have potassium and sodium and everything so that it can fire, electricity, okay? So it's able to contract and extend and all that stuff when it comes to your muscles. Also, blood glucose in your brain. If you start dropping a little bit because you're not eating, you're not drinking, maybe you're not getting the necessary fuel to your brain, you're going to start thinking slower too. And when we're traveling at high speeds and practicing high-speed maneuvering on a track, we need to be thinking fast. That's why stimulants are really good when you're doing some stuff, but you also want to stay hydrated and have the fuel. But that's a really big indicator of something bad could happen. So if you're out there, not even on a track, but you're out 5 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever, out in the mountains with your buddies and you're doing crazy fast stuff and you start getting dehydrated, you start losing some glucose into your brain, and you start doing all these issues. Now we're out on the mountain. Uh-oh. Big problems that start to happen. That's when mistakes start to happen. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I think this might be copyrighted music, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. And we're gonna do a left turn. Okay, we made it through, doing pretty good. All right, we're having a good time. What do we got here? Another sharp turn. Oh. It's kind of a low side, went off the road. Handled it. All right, so we're kind of cruising. Gonna maybe lane filter, do some stuff. We're not going super fast, not a big deal. Watch out for any pedestrians though. We have an intersection coming up. Person's kind of squeezing you in. Brake. Hey, it's not necessarily your or the car driver's fault. We were in the blind spot.
Ya kardeşim kusura bakma da benim canımı tehlikeye atıyorsun ama ya.
He's apologetic.
Ya en azından nezaketle.
Not too bad. So we're coming up to here, guys. Let's take a look. So we're hanging out in the blind spot. If you're gonna do it, do it. If you're gonna go and lane split. But don't hang out. Just like if you're passing a semi on the highway, like don't hang out side by side with the semi on the highway. Go or stay behind. Don't stay side by side. We're staying side by side right here. If you're recognizing this isn't a good spot, roll off the throttle, wait for a good spot, and then go. Or go. You see? We're just hanging out. So it's not necessarily that driver's fault. He doesn't anticipate anybody being there. Like, would you anticipate any car drivers being in that little gap area? Oh, but we should be paying attention to motorcycle riders. They should be focusing on motorcycle riders. They should know that this is the culture and this is... No, they don't. They don't have to. Nobody has to. What this person has to do is be able to get into his parking space safely. He doesn't have to look for you. He doesn't have to pay attention to you. He doesn't have to care about you. Nobody cares about anybody else but you. And so if nobody cares about you but you, care about yourself. Get yourself out of this situation. Either go or go back. Don't hang out. Don't hang out in this dangerous area. Get yourself out, and when it's safe to go, then go. If you think it's safe to go right now, then go. But it's obviously not safe to go because we're coming up, we see pedestrians, we're side by side, it's getting smaller. Then let's just go back. Let's get ourselves out of here. That's Turkey. Legally, the more expensive vehicle has the right-of-way. Oof. Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's interesting if it's the more expensive. But yeah, that's the situation that happened there. Thank you, MotoStars, for putting out this video. I appreciate that. But with that said, I hope you guys ride safe, be safe, grab a slice of pizza, head on out the classroom, and I'll see you guys out in the parking lot or something.